Hello and welcome back to the Search and Traverse podcast. I am Joe,
I'm Parker.
and we're here once more, dude. If what beverage that if it was gone other than water on Earth, you'd be like, dude, because I don't know what boba tea is, but there's a shortage of it right now.
I actually fuck with boba tea. I like it. It's pretty good. It has those little balls in it, the little balls.
There's a ball bubble, man.
Yeah, it's a little bubble, and they're pretty good. But what beverage would I be like? Damn.
If it was gone, if there was a shortage of this beverage, you'd be like, shit.
I think it's more type of beverage. Like if a milkshake
No,
is
no, no.
gone.
Which one?
Okay, well,
Because
so it'd be. I can't just say milkshake. It had to be like strawberry milkshake or some shit like that, right?
yeah, that first. And it can't be water. So here's the thing. So let's cut the bullshit. Which flavor of Monster?
Yeah, I was
you
just about to say. That's tough. I don't know which one would be like. Fuck, I can't drink that no more. Probably
well, there's a shortage.
there's a shortage.
Pal. Doesn't mean that it's
Sorry.
never coming back.
Probably like the ultra gold one. That one's pretty good. It's probably my new favorite, to be honest.
The pineapple one.
Yeah. Well, what about you? What would you pick?
I don't know. Anyway, so
fuck you. No. Which
you got
monster?
a blood clot in your face.
No.
Or wait, what?
No.
Clot is when it stops.
Yeah, clot is when it slops. When it
Stops
stops
in your
yeah.
mouth. Yeah.
But
Because you gotta.
yeah,
Well, I'll let you.
I mean, I got my tooth pulled because it was cracked in it, and it was hurting. But
How'd you crack it?
don't know honestly. So it had a crack in it, right? Not that it was completely like cracked apart.
It had a fracture.
It had a fracture.
How long before it just cracked?
Uh,
How long were you walking around with a fractured tooth?
Probably for a while, and I didn't realize it because it would hurt. It would hurt like every now and then. Like,
Can you like 3 months?
well, I don't know how long the fracture was in it because I don't know if it just
Did
happened.
it hurt when it was fractured like every now and then?
Yeah, it would like start stinging, right?
For how long?
Not stinging, but it'd be like the same pain I was experiencing. And so when it would do that, it would only last for like 10 minutes or something, right? I'd either go like brush my teeth, run water or some
But
shit.
it was like hard, like you
It
had
was
to
like,
do
oh
something.
shit, yeah, I had to do something
Okay.
about it. It's something I couldn't ignore it. And but this last fucking 4 days, it was nonstop because mouth pain you can't get away from. You can't, like, with my stomach pain, I can like lay down on my left side and it will subside a little bit. But with this, it was just nonstop. But I had this fracture in my tooth, and it was, I don't know how many days ago, but it was hurting, and so pressure sometimes helped it. So I grabbed my sweatshirt and balled it up at the end and bit down on the molar part, and then kind of grinded my teeth on it because I was like, oh my God, like it wasn't itchy, but it was just like uncomfortable. I just wanted to move it, And then it just popped out, and I was like, oh, cool. That's great.
Popped out like how?
So it was like a little, I don't know, probably like not a quarter, half of my molar just popped out. It
Just
was
like one half of the split or both the two halves?
It was just one half of the split. My molar was there, right? It was like my molar, and then it was like a ball. It was like a crater almost, just popped out. It was fully out.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just fully out. And
So what'd you do? Just throw it in the garbage?
yeah.
So then you just had half of a cracked tooth.
Yeah. And then
Oh,
it was like
damn.
that. It was like that for a while. Not a while, but it was like a week and a half. It was fine. And then it just started hurting. Like it started like where I couldn't move. Not that I couldn't move, but it was like I was like how you're saying I was getting pissed off. I have no patience. I was like I literally sometimes almost passed out. Like it was just hurting so bad. Like when I'd be laying down in bed, I don't know if it was with all the blood when I'd be like laying down and the blood's more up to my head and shit, but it was so intense.
Yeah, I've heard tooth pain is like one of the worst.
Well, yeah, because you can't get away from it. Like you can't do nothing to help it other than like weirdest thing. No painkillers were helping it because it was like a bone. It was like bone pain, right? So it was like no muscle relaxer, no painkiller, no nothing was helping it other than just having water in my mouth. Weird as shit. Just having some decently cold water in my mouth made the pain subside. It didn't make it go away, but it was like definitely dulled the pain. And it was weird because like if you think cracked tooth, you put cold water on a cracked tooth, that shit's gonna be sensitive. Nope, There was no sensitivity whatsoever. So it was like all jaw pain. So I think it was down in the roots, but I got that shit pulled and I could have gotten a root canal. Like,
How long did it take to pull that?
well, so
Like,
I
how
woke
long
up
was the appointment?
well, first I had an appointment at another doctor's or another dentist, and he took an X-ray of it, and he was like, "Yeah, so you're either gonna need to get a root canal or get it pulled." And I was like, I looked at him, I was like, "Can I just get it pulled?" Because I wasn't,
What's
I.
the difference?
So with a root canal, they clean it out, and they clean all the nerves, and I don't like they clear out the nerves and like clean it out, get rid of the bacteria and infection, and the root canal is able to be rebuilt. The tooth is like able to be rebuilt, but with the extraction, it's just fully out of there. So my tooth is already pretty much fucked. That's my second one I've gotten pulled, and it's funny because it was the same molar, it's just on opposite sides on bottom and top. I like this one's the same molar. Not taking care of your teeth happened. Like this is what happens. Even though for the past 4 years straight, I've been brushing my teeth pretty consistently, like a good pat. Like it's been healthy teeth brushing, but it doesn't matter. I already did all the damage. All the damage has been done back in high school, and so it sucks. But
This life.
yeah, I mean, I'm dealing with it, and I think like I was saying earlier, I think that was the last tooth that was kind of like a little funky. And so hopefully me getting this pulled, 'cause I didn't want to have to worry about it. I'll just get a if I'm that worried about getting my molars or having my full set of teeth, I'll just get a dental bridge.
Mhm.
I'll just get them. I'm not too worried about that, but I don't know. It's with the root canal, I just didn't want to go through that like how you're asking it probably only took like 15 minutes, like the actual process, because they had to put the numbing shit in, like the numbing
Do
gel.
they give you oh, it's a gel. I was about to say, do they give you a shot into your gums?
Yeah, no, they do, but you put the numbing gel in first so that the shot
Yeah.
doesn't hurt. And then he gave me 2 shots, and then he leaves. He probably is just going and fucking off somewhere doing some bullshit. I walked out because I had to fucking take a piss. 'Cause I'm just chugging so much water because that's the only thing that's giving me anything. Like how often was I peeing?
I don't know, but you were drinking water a lot. I noticed that because the purr was consistently empty.
Yeah. I was feeling that. I could probably go through like when you were gone, I was going through like one of those by myself. The per liter shit. And so he puts the shots in and he lets it sit for I don't know how long, 15 minutes by itself, and then he comes in and bro, it was so weird because like I get why he was doing it this way, but as he's like fucking he put this like rubber spacer to keep my mouth open. He's like sitting there with these prongs and anything, these big metal instruments, and he's just having this conversation with his like
Dental assistant?
yeah, and she's like, "Yeah, and she got really drunk, and I don't know what she's doing. I think she's an alcoholic." And I'm like, "Huh? Huh?"
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
and then he goes, "Hey, buddy, when I push this back, you might feel a little twinge." And he was like, because like he pushed it like so he had it angled out of my gum.
It's just gonna hurt. It's gonna be quick and painful.
Yeah, basically. But I sat through it because I've had so many teeth pulled as a kid, and this was not due to my fault. It was my first dentist who was filling my baby teeth instead
Mhm.
of just pulling the baby teeth. Or just like he was filling them, which is just weird. And so then I'd have to get them pulled. And you never had a shot in the roof of your mouth. The roof is something else.
Yeah.
But as I did some research because I was in so much pain that I wanted to sleep or get the tooth pulled. I wasn't doing no research on which one's better. I probably should have, but I was doing research and it's saying like the root canal is better. But that's if I wanted to get it. I think that's better for later on in life when like because I can just get a dental bridge. I wasn't trying to rebuild my one tooth because every other tooth is fine. Are those just cavities when they're like all black on the inside and stuff? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It could be tar. They smoke.
It could be that, huh? I don't know because it's just like it's always the grandparents that have them too.
I'm not sure. I don't know. But is that gonna so is that gonna just be like gum, like a gum?
Yeah,
Like
you
you
see
just
this one? That's what it's gonna be like. But that then so my teeth are probably gonna shift too. So this one may not be sticking out as far. You give it like a month, it may not be sticking out as far because this gap that was my tooth now, it's not gonna stay that big. Like this one up here,
you think about getting braces in the future or anything?
I mean my teeth aren't that bad. Like in that
Not really, no.
they're not that fucked up to the point where when I have the money, I'll probably do it. But I'd want to get Invisalign or something. But also then again, I don't know. I don't know. I definitely need to. That's one thing that people underlook as dentists.
Yeah, overlook, yeah.
Overlook, underlook, undervalue. Maybe that's what I was looking for. Overlook and undervalue. Is you definitely need to keep good care of your teeth because when the pains do happen, that shit is terrible.
I wonder what it feels like to get them knocked out, like in a fight. Because then it's like a quick so it's like getting your tooth pulled, but if you're not ready for it, if you don't have any adrenaline or anything, that must hurt. But I don't think it would
Well,
be pass out hurt, they would just bleed, right? Or would they
yeah,
just
cause
naturally kinda close
because
up?
honestly, when they're out, the relief and maybe it was just mine because it just felt like it was exploding, you know? It just felt like my tooth was expanding in my gum line, so it was just very uncomfortable, and so once he got it out, it was kind of relieving. So I wonder if that's what it would feel like to get it, like, punched out. Like, you feel the crunch and, like, everything ripping, but then it'd just be, like, a space. I can't imagine losing your front teeth.
But what that's what I'm saying, wouldn't it bleed? Because we were watching that. We were watching, like, that
Mhm.
the weirdest not knockout, but something weird or peculiar things to happen, and this one guy got kicked, I think, in the head, and he knocked some of his teeth out, and his teeth were stuck in the mouthpiece, and they were trying to get him out of the mouthpiece, and it's like, "Okay, but aren't those holes bleeding?" Like, so you put the mouthpiece in, you're gonna be spitting blood, or do they not even care because it's a fight?
They probably don't even care. Yeah, it's gonna be bleeding because, I mean,
But don't you have to stop that?
yeah, I think, but, I mean, it's probably also, like, also when your gums bleed, like, when you're flossing and your gums bleed, they're gonna bleed for a minute, but
Bro, the audacity of the dentist. I'll be getting prep and the dental assistant won't even talk to me. And
mhm.
like as soon as she's like, she'll hand me a cup and she's like, "Hey, here, this is Listerine. Wash your face out." As soon as I drink that cup and I start swishing, that's when she drops the question. It's
Yeah.
like, I think you people realize the memes and now you're just trying to build the culture and you're just because like there's no way this is real. Are you just trying to or do you is it a tactic? So I'm just gonna ask
Yeah.
them when
It's I think it's more of like a, "Okay, I know," it's kinda like they're controlling the conversation. I don't really care about you, not that they care about you because 'cause you're the patient, blah, 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 but it's like, I don't really care to learn about your backstory, but I'm not really waiting for your answer because what they can do is, "Here's your Listerine, put that shit in. Oh, so where'd you get that hat from?" "Okay," and then you'll be like, Oh, okay," and then turn around and go back onto the computer doing their shit so they don't have to listen to you. But that's what the nurse did with me. I'm half droopy face. My jaw is sore on this side because I just had the roundabout rubber stopper in my mouth to keep it open. And she's like, I was saying something about like my Crohn's or something because she asked me about it because she saw it in my file, and I was telling her, and I was like, "Yup, yeah." I was real fat, like just I couldn't talk, and then I started patting my tummy, dude. It was a little bit weird, but
sometimes those dental assistants are lacking out there in the field, man, especially when it's like the air thing that sucks the water out of your mouth.
yeah,
It's like, listen, lady, if you're not gonna if you're not gonna be on guard, just hang it off the side of my mouth so I can just open and close. Because when they don't put that was like my biggest pet peeve. I don't care about the questions or the pokey in my gums.
that's if you
It's
just
just like,
liquid.
dude, I'm already trying to like focus on not freaking out. Now I gotta water in my mouth. I gotta mitigate this problem because you don't want to put the air stick in my mouth, you know?
The air stick, the sucky stick.
Okay, I specifically didn't say that because it would get weird. And it
Sorry,
got weird,
sorry, sorry.
man. No, my dentist was cool, at least the one I remember. He was just like, sit tight.
I
And
had
he'd
a
fix my teeth.
my first dentist was weird, but then the dentist that fixed most of my shit, he was pretty cool. It's just doing anything mouth related is just so sketchy and so just like hard to deal with because there's no way around the pain. Like, yeah, the numbing shit, but then it's like now, like, yeah, it feels better, but I still have just an open gap
Well,
in
an
my
edible helped, right? All those drugs and an edible helped.
an edible did help. I mean, the hydrocodones, what I got prescribed, they do help somewhat, but that's all that is more to just make me fall asleep so I don't
And
feel the
it
pain.
didn't.
No.
You're smoking joints, nothing. And what was it? Oxy or not oxy? What you had aspirin threes or whatever, Tylenol
Tylenol 3
three?
is the codeine.
What was the like the hardest drug you've been prescribed? I know you had Xanax and like
Tramadol. I don't like it. It gives me it's a painkiller, but they prescribe it in like point milligrams.
Percocet.
Percocets would, but that's for, like, extreme pain, bro.
What you said you were gonna pass out
Yeah,
at
I know,
times.
but that's like you gotta go into the fucking emergency room with, like, a broken leg, or you gotta get, like, skin graft surgery and other shit to get the Percocets,
Well, I guess if it's like your entire leg or something.
which but Percocets make you stupid, bro. They make you forget stuff, they make
Yeah,
you
if you take them all the time.
yeah, I get but if you're in pain all the time, you can't really but then that's, like, that's how people turn into opioid addicts. They just, like
That's what the whole thing is about.
well, I mean, like, that's why it's so fucked, but that's why I mean, my doctor only prescribed me 6 hydrocodones.
Weed helps.
It gets you high, you forget
And
about it.
it'll knock you out.
Yeah, that too,
Whereas for you, the edible had to do it, especially
bro.
with the pain keeping you awake.
Dude, it got bad at night, dude. I'd be laying there and cause like with the water, like how I was telling you, I'd just keep it in my mouth, but then I'd start to fall asleep because like finally it feels better. And then the pain would come back and then just also right here on my shoulder just be completely wet because it would just drool out of my mouth. Cause like, my mouth isn't completely closed and it's full on water. It's like a full sip of water. And then I would just be laying there and I'd
I
try
feel so bad for
well,
you, bro. Like,
I'd try and be, like, falling asleep. I'm like, "Okay, if I can just get to sleep." I mean, I get to sleep every night with this pain, like, eventually, I don't know how it happens, but if I can just get to sleep, I'll be good. But then I'll do the "fuck," and I'll rise from the dead to go and grab the water and just start the whole routine over again, bro. And, like, I'd be laying in bed, like, I'd probably get in bed at 12 not 12, like, it'd be, like, 11 when I finally call it a night. I'd get to sleep at 3, and it's like, "Holy fuck," like just terrible. I'd come out here like 4 different times for a cup of water. I honestly should have just, like, taken a muscle because at that point, I shouldn't have been trying to because nothing was helping the pain for real, like, only other than the water. I should have just been trying to find a way to, like, knock myself out to just sleep. Some NyQuil and, like, a muscle relaxer or something, but,
I don't know about night. Well, I guess
I mean, because that's also Tylenol in there. That's what that acetaminophen, but just
past.
go away.
Yeah, pass the day.
Yeah.
Just wake up tomorrow. Time
Mhm.
travel to the surgery. Like just sleep as much as you can.
Yeah, but we're here now. I'm feeling a lot better.
Well, we have a pre-surgery podcast when you were feeling it. So
Uh,
once I get a hold of well, I gotta edit it and then I'll let you listen and we'll see
we'll see
the
the
change in
difference.
tone.
I don't think we got a whatchamacallit, like a podcast the days between. We got it that first night when it first started happening. But it was weird too, because it was like I could eat, I could do everything. It was fine. It was just like not the adjacent pain, but it was like the downtime pain when I wasn't doing anything is when it was hurting. But when I was eating or drinking, it was fine. It was like
Didn't
what
you
the
we drove around a bunch like the
oh, I
second
was
night?
getting pissed.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was when cause we drove to a Wendy's and the lady was like, and we're reasonable lads. The lady was like, "Hey, can you wait a minute?"
I
And
live
then
in
it
the
was
South.
like 7.
I went, "Hello?" And she went, "Give me a second." I'm like, "Bro."
And then we went across the street to a McDonald's, but there was some goober going too slow, and so there's like a double drive-through. Little did we know the second one had a cone,
And I was
and that
I
was my
was
poem.
I was just
So
I was just getting so pissed because I just ran out of water. I slowly when you first start to have to pee, and it's just, like, slowly
yeah.
creeping in, and you're like, "Okay, I could go pee." And then you drive around a little bit more, and you're like, "Okay, definitely could go
I
pee now."
definitely do. I don't think it was as bad as that one other one you had. There was one before you had where you were like, "Dude, I think I was driving."
Oh, that was after.
Yeah, and you were like, "Dude, I'm literally not," because there was that one. You need to pee a lot, but there was one where you were like on the edge, and I think we talked about it on the podcast. I had one of those
Oh,
when
yeah.
Mike was driving,
Yeah.
and then he missed the turn, and I was like, "Dude," I was literally thinking like I was like, "I can't believe I'm gonna pee in my pants."
Dude,
And then
that's what I
I was
was
like,
thinking.
and then I like kicked it in gear. I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "I gotta find a way," and it stayed. I didn't pee, dude. The feeling of peeing, it feels great, right? But the triumph after
Yeah.
it,
No, I wouldn't have peed in your car, I would have peed outside your window, or like I said, "I got a cup, I'll pee in the
or I
cup."
just pulled over.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's also kind of fun. It's
it's
kind of
still
funny.
early spring, so not a lot of shrubbery. But then again, who cares? There's not a lot of people
I don't
either.
know. It was tough, and I was just getting pissed because it was like that pain. Because after a certain point, you're like, okay, maybe I can deal with it. Maybe I can deal with it. But then you're like, okay, I'm dealing with it. This is fucking stupid. Like, just go away. You start getting so irked.
I mean, I don't feel that, but
You feel the
well,
pain,
I feel that for some things. Like but I've been, fortunes. So
fortunes.
hopefully it
Yeah,
stays
I
well.
just, I'm just
Knock on wood.
the physical. Blech. I
Hey
mean,
man, so was JFK, and he did well. Remember that? So, all right, peace.
those